Hey guys, so today I'm gonna be looking at people who were almost kidnapped stories. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. I was 14 or 15 and walking alone during the day by myself. I was in a neighborhood I was familiar with but didn't live in, and this red car pulled up next to me and the driver kept asking if I needed a ride. I said no multiple times and sped up my pace, but he kept driving next to me asking over and over. Eventually he pulled over in front of me and asked again. I was nearby my friend's house and ran there. Take no for an answer, please. He wasn't home and I hadn't met his mum before, but I pounded on the front door like the police as the car kept creeping by. His mum answered and I guess she gleaned what was going on and let me in. I made an awkward small talk with this woman for a minute or two and she drove me to where I was headed. My friend said that I woke his mum up and she had a night shift that night, but that she was grateful I did. Thanks, Miss Friend's mum. Whoa, that is so creepy though. That's when you know something is off. That's when you know. When you say no and they keep insisting, like they said no. You can go now, bye. Even if the dude was trying to be nice, he should have known that doing this is gonna make that person paranoid and it's just creepy, you know? My sister had a very close encounter. One Sunday she was coming out of the grocery store after parking her car in one of the front rows. As you can imagine, the grocery store was pretty packed, being that it was a Sunday, so definitely a lot of bystander by present. During this time, my sister's driver's side door of her car didn't open from the outside, so after putting her groceries in the trunk, she proceeded to climb into the car from the passenger side, as she did on a daily basis due to the handle not working. A man saw her do this and took the opportunity to slide into the passenger seat beside her and close the door. Once he shut the door, he pulled out a knife and put it to her throat and told her to drive the car. The man didn't realize that her door opened from the inside. She opened the door and made a run for it. And when she told me this story, she told me, and I quote, "It was either run and get help or drive and probably die. I took my chance." Oh, yeah. I feel like, yeah, in most cases you should just run. Just open the door and run. After running and screaming for help, the man jumped out of the car and a man whom I will always be thankful for tackled the dangerous man and he was charged with attempted kidnapping. I guess the message I can pass along from this story is even during the day at a crowded grocery store on Sunday, women by themselves, or anyone for that matter, have to have their guard up. That's crazy because it's so unexpected. Like, you don't think someone's gonna do this to you in the middle of the day with people around, you know? Oh, that's scary. Thank God she made a run for it because who knows? Who knows what would have happened if she drove? Because he could have been like, drive to this place and then no one would be around. Who knows? I was led out of the play park I was playing in by some shady dude who said my mum had sent him to pick me up. It's always this line. This is the suspicious line. Kids, people, don't follow someone who says this, okay? The play park was in a mall and he led me into a backstreet alley with little to no lighting. I played along and didn't know I was in danger until he flicked a switchblade out. The blade caught the light, which is how I found it was there in the first place. I remembered what my teachers had taught me and ran towards the nearest woman while screaming, "Mummy!" and he bolted. Thank gosh for their quick thinking. These stories do have some pretty useful tips just in case something happens. I grew up in a well-off neighborhood with a tight-knit community and somewhat overbearing local police force. I was at the local park with family and friends one afternoon and I was probably 10 years old. Some kids set off one of those model rockets and it blasted high into the air and ended up behind a house next to the park. Being a kid, I run after the rocket and leave the boundaries of the park and notice an old beat-up Dodge van in the parking lot. Oh, some shady dude rolls his windows down and tried to convince me to get into his van because he saw where it landed and would take me to find it. Wow, this dude was waiting for an opportunity. That's scary. Always watch your kids, okay? Watch your kids. I promptly ran away and told my dad, so he and his friends stormed over there to see what the heck this shady guy was doing. The dude peeled out and we all looked at it as a close call. Later that night, a police officer came to my house because someone had reported him. They ran his plates from the city camera at the park and the perpetrator was from a small town several hours away from mine. He was a registered offender and the cop told me I did the right thing by running away. If I had gotten into the van, I'm sure he would have driven away with me and who knows what would have happened. Oh. Everywhere, be careful, okay? Just be careful. You never know who's lurking around. Wow, he was just waiting. He saw everything that happened and he was just waiting for an opportunity. Thank gosh this boy didn't trust him because I feel like some kids would trust the guy. Some kids would be like, "Oh, you're a nice guy. Okay, I'll follow you." You know, please watch your kids because you never know. Like, if you're 1 second late, you never know what might happen, okay? I love how when he told his dad, he and his friends were like, who? What happened? Who's this guy? I grew up in a pretty weird household and my dad was a heavy drinker for most of my childhood. So it wasn't too unheard of for me to get picked up after school and brought to the bar for a while until mum got home. I was playing centipede by myself and some guy was seated next to the machine and he started talking to me about go-karts and mini bikes, etc. The kind of stuff that would interest a kid who was 8 or 9 years old. Eventually the guy worked up the nerve and asked me for my address and said he'd take me to ride these go-karts and whatever, and not knowing any better, I went and asked my dad for some paper to write down my address. Oh, so luckily he was still close to home. I was like assuming no one was around and he was just there alone. Okay, luckily my dad wasn't having any of it. There was a confrontation and several other patrons joining the resulting beatdown. 2 things I learned that day. 1, you can't trust everybody, and 2, my dad was capable of intense violence. Up until that point, I just looked at my dad as a happy old drinker. He was never belligerent or violent at home, always composed and content. I've never forgotten how close I was to the unimaginable. Oh my gosh, thank gosh the dad was there, thank gosh. Yeah, the dad wasn't having it. The dad was like, you what? You what? You're gonna take my kid to a go-kart? You what? Take me to the go-kart. When I was in 6th grade, I was a latchkey kid who walked home from school. One day I forgot my house key and found myself locked out and very bored. I sat on the curb across the street dragging a stick across a metal sewer grate because it made a fun melodic clanging noise. I slowly became aware that there was a silver hatchback idling on the side of the road down the street with 2 people in it. Then I noticed they were looking at me, staring at me. I started to get freaked out and I got up and walked towards my house, which was a townhouse at the top of an inclined driveway that we share with our neighbours. Between the front door and the driveway was a fenced-in area where the trash cans went. The silver hatchback followed me up the driveway. I'm not sure what my plan was exactly, but I ran up to the alcove where the front door was and pressed myself against a wall. I was obscured from the driveway by the trash can fence. I heard the car reach the top of the driveway and I heard the doors open. A man's voice said, "Darn, the kid got away." They got back in the car and left. When my parents got home, I couldn't wait to tell them, but I don't think they believed me. My dad said if they were really trying to get me, they would have followed me to the door instead of giving up on the driveway, which makes some sense. I don't know if they were trying to mess with me or what, but it definitely happened and scared the heck out of me at 11 years old. What the heck? Their parents were just like, nah, I doubt it. What? If I heard this and I was a parent, I would tell the kid to be careful and tell my kid over and over again not to follow strangers, and then I would be like, you did a good job from running away and hiding. But these parents were like, nah, I doubt they tried to kidnap you, not you. Maybe the dad was trying to calm him down, maybe. One day my mum was jogging along a walkway near the beach and my brother was beside her on his tricycle. 2 men came up to them and one grabbed my brother and tried to run while the other grabbed my mum. However, my mum was a very active black belt in karate at the time. She broke the assailant nose and pushed him over a wall near the walkway. Oh hell yes. The guy that grabbed my brother didn't get too far because my brother was so frightened that he held onto his bike. I shouldn't laugh at this. My brother's attacker saw what happened to the other guy, dropped my brother and ran. That's why I took karate in college. Oh my gosh, this mom is a hero. The brother was still holding to his bike while the man still carried him and his bike. Good thinking, man, good thinking. The guy must have been tired because bikes can be heavy, okay? Oh. The mom is amazing. Yes, protect your kids. What's embarrassing about this story is my age, if I'm honest. So my friend and I were walking on our way back from the ski resort snack shack that we were staying at. On the way back, we were rolling bottles down a hill and just messing about. To put in the story in perspective, we were either 8th graders or 9th graders, so we should have known better. But a guy in a truck stopped us and asked if we would like to help him out by moving cabinets in his condo and that we will get paid for our trouble. My friend instantly agreed since he was on a labor kick and just wanted to earn some money. So I got tossed into this agreement and the man let us in his truck to go to his place. Oh my gosh. I am glad we still had to drop off stuff from the shack for my mum because I don't want to know how it would have gone down if we hadn't. We dropped off the snacks and I tell my sister what we were doing before we leave. So now we are back in the guy's truck heading down the road to his place. As soon as I step out of the truck, my mum calls me and says, "What the heck do you think you are doing?" I explained it the way he told me, that we were just moving cabinets in this guy's place since he was selling the condo or something. She immediately told me to get my friend and run. Well, my friend was already inside while I'm not. I called him outside and told him what's going on, and to be fair to the guy, it did look like cabinets needed to be moved. But I told my friend my mum wants us back now. The guy kind of pestered us about leaving, but eventually we left, and this is when I finally got it and started booking it back home. Even if the dude genuinely did need help, just don't go into a random person's house. Just don't take the risk, okay? Like, honestly, it's so hard to trust someone to get into someone's car, even if they were trying to be nice. It's just hard to trust. It's just hard to trust, okay? Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!